Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number one.
Excellency Turki Al Sheikh has said he wants to see Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford. What is your honest thoughts on that as an opportunity and a potential fight?
Oh, it's always is a chance there, right? We'll see, but always is a chance there, and we're here to make the best deals, and always a chance.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., one of boxing's greatest defensive masterminds, shared his insights on a potential blockbuster fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. As an undefeated champion who has faced Alvarez in the ring and closely followed Crawford's rise, Mayweather's perspective carries significant weight. His breakdown of this matchup considers both fighters' strengths, weaknesses, and the strategic elements that could determine the outcome.
I had a chance to hang around Earl. I had a chance to hang around Terence. And both guys, class act, both. I'm proud of Terence Crawford. I'm proud of him. But you know, after the fight, after all the Terence Crawford fights, I always text him or call him and say congratulations. With Earl Spence, same thing. You know, a lot of times you're gonna hear certain things. You know, I'm not jealous of these fighters. I'm proud of these fighters. I'm for real. I'm very, very proud of these.
Mayweather's analysis is particularly interesting because he was the first to expose Canelo Alvarez's weaknesses when they fought in 2013. At the time, Alvarez was an undefeated rising star with an impressive record, but he struggled against Mayweather's superior boxing IQ, defensive skills, and counterpunching ability. In that fight, Mayweather showcased why he was levels above the competition, winning a majority decision despite the fight being one-sided in his favor.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him because, you know, if you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience, he's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
You think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think it's tough fights and difficult fights. That was a difficult.
Mayweather explained that his ability to evade Canelo's punches and land clean counters highlighted the Mexican fighter's difficulties against elusive boxers. Over the years, Canelo has dramatically improved his skills, becoming a multiple division world champion and dominating various weight classes. However, Mayweather still believes that technical fighters like Crawford could pose significant challenges for Alvarez.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
We can't put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terence Crawford as number one.
Mayweather has also been vocal in his admiration for Terence Crawford, often calling him the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He noted that Crawford's ability to switch stances seamlessly between orthodox and southpaw makes him one of the most unpredictable fighters in boxing. His high ring IQ allows him to read his opponents and adjust his strategy mid-fight, an ability that Mayweather himself was known for during his career. Crawford has displayed his dominance in the welterweight division with his dismantling of Errol Spence Jr., proving that he is on another level. However, Mayweather pointed out that the biggest question surrounding a potential fight with Canelo Alvarez is whether Crawford can carry his skills up to a higher weight class and withstand the power of a naturally bigger fighter. Canelo Alvarez is known for his devastating power, particularly his left hook and body shots, which have broken down some of the best fighters in the world. His ability to absorb punches and walk through shots has made him a feared opponent in multiple divisions. Having fought as high as 175 pounds, he has a clear advantage in terms of size and strength over Crawford, who has never fought above 147 pounds. Canelo has also improved his defense significantly since his loss to Mayweather, incorporating head movement and upper body slips to avoid punches more effectively. However, Mayweather observed that one of Canelo's lingering weaknesses is his struggle against fighters with elite movement and defensive skills. Fighters like Dmitry Bivol, who defeated Canelo in a dominant display, used lateral movement, foot speed, and counterpunching to neutralize his power. Mayweather sees similarities between Bivol and Crawford, particularly in the way they can frustrate opponents with their boxing IQ. Crawford's strengths lie in his ability to control the pace of a fight, land precise counterpunches, and adjust his strategy depending on his opponent's style. His knockout power at welterweight has been undeniable, but against Canelo, the question remains whether his punches would carry enough impact to keep the Mexican champion at bay. Mayweather also cautioned that one concern for Crawford is that he sometimes takes a few rounds to adjust before dominating his opponents. Against a powerful puncher like Canelo, a slow start could be costly. If he gets caught with a big shot early, it might be difficult for him to recover, especially at a higher weight class.
5 fighters right now in boxing. That's your top 5 right now in boxing. Not your the top 5 in boxing right now. Right now.
Champions or just anybody?
Top 5 right now.
Shakur #1, hands down. Tank, he up there. Canelo, Inoue, Tyson Fury.
Damn. That's now beforehand. Back in the day.
Mayweather pointed out that while Canelo is an elite fighter, Crawford's technical skill set gives him a legitimate chance to win. He believes that Crawford's superior footwork and counterpunching ability could cause Canelo significant problems. However, he also acknowledges that weight plays a crucial role in boxing and Canelo's experience at higher weight classes could make the difference. If the fight were to take place at super middleweight, Canelo would have a natural size and strength advantage, making it much harder for Crawford to execute his game plan. If a catchweight of around 160 pounds were agreed upon, it could level the playing field and allow Crawford to retain his speed advantage without giving up too much power. Mayweather cautioned against one of the biggest misconceptions in boxing, that Crawford's win over Errol Spence Jr. at 147 pounds means he could do the same to Canelo Alvarez. He explained that Spence and Canelo are very different fighters. While Spence was a dominant welterweight, he does not possess the same power and physical presence as Canelo. Additionally, Spence had never faced an elite counterpuncher like Crawford, whereas Canelo has already gone up against some of the best defensive fighters in the world, including Mayweather himself. Canelo has also proven that he can take punches from bigger fighters, something Crawford has never had to deal with in his career. Mayweather outlined 2 primary scenarios for how this fight could play out. If Canelo successfully pressures Crawford, cuts off the ring, and lands his power shots, he could overwhelm Crawford and win either by knockout or a decisive decision. Canelo's ability to invest in body shots and wear down opponents has been a key strategy in many of his victories, and it could prove effective against Crawford, who has never faced someone with Canelo's punching power. On the other hand, if Crawford can use his movement, ring IQ, and counterpunching skills to outbox Canelo, he could win by decision in a fight similar to Mayweather's victory over Alvarez. The key for Crawford would be to avoid prolonged exchanges and keep Canelo from setting his feet to land power shots.
Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time. Power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind.
From a historical perspective, Mayweather noted that this fight would be one of the biggest boxing events in modern times. A victory for Canelo would further cement his status as the best pound-for-pound fighter of his era, proving that he can handle elite boxers regardless of style. If Crawford were to win, it would be a monumental achievement, solidifying his place as one of the greatest fighters ever. Moving up multiple weight classes to defeat a champion like Canelo would put him in rare company alongside boxing legends who have defied weight disadvantages to make history. Mayweather's final assessment of this potential fight suggests that while he respects Canelo's power and achievements, he leans toward Crawford due to his technical brilliance. However, he remains cautious in making a definitive prediction because of the significant weight difference. If the fight ever happens, it would be a clash of two of the best boxers of their generation, a battle between power and precision, and a fight that could shape the legacies of both men for years to come. Dreams have a way of turning into reality, and the ongoing talks for a showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are proof of that. After years of deadlock, negotiations have suddenly gained momentum, leaving fans in disbelief. Since reports surfaced about the fight becoming a real possibility, the boxing world has been electrified with anticipation. Fans, analysts, and fighters alike have eagerly weighed in on the highly anticipated showdown, flooding the conversation with their predictions. Unsurprisingly, Canelo Alvarez has emerged as the overwhelming favorite in most early forecasts. Yet in an unexpected twist, a handful of voices have begun rallying behind Bud. On Tuesday, Jake Paul added his name to that select group, publicly revealing his pick for the fight. Jake Paul and his business partner Nikisa Bidarian made an appearance on the debut episode of the Ring Champs podcast. During the conversation, the host turned to the problem child for his take on a possible showdown. With a shrewd glint in his eyes, Paul remarked that the weight difference would make this matchup intriguing. He said the fight holds an element of uncertainty as Bud faces the challenge of packing on nearly 14 pounds to step into the ring. It's interesting because of the weight class. We haven't seen Terence go up there, and will he have the power? Queried Jake Paul, expressing his concerns about whether Bud can match the unified super middleweight champion's skills at such a higher weight. However, the 27-year-old is confident that the former two-division undisputed world champion possesses the skill set to outmaneuver Canelo, a fact he has demonstrated repeatedly. I do think that Terence has the skill and is a bit fresher than Canelo, stated Paul. Hopefully, the Guadalajara fought twice last year while the Omaha native only participated in one battle. Given everything that has to go right for Bud, if I had to put my money on it, I would probably go with Terence. Surprising everyone on the episode, the problem child defied expectations by siding with Terence Crawford. While most of the combat sports world leans toward the reigning unified super middleweight champion, Nikisa Bidarian expressed his disagreement with his partner right away on the podcast, saying, "I think Canelo destroys him." Furthermore, the rest of the boxing community has been speaking in the same tone. A few months back, during a chat with Fight Hype, Matchroom boss Eddie Hearn confidently predicted that Canelo Alvarez would steamroll his opponent, citing the significant weight difference as the deciding factor. Crawford can't really come to fight in that fight because he's at a massive size disadvantage, stated Hearn. Not only did Hearn share this view, but so did Demetrius Andrade. He told Fight Hub TV that even though
he hasn't learned how to lose yet, I think he does have those special ingredients that go beyond the physical genetics, the physical DNA. So that's it. Okay? Good. You don't like it? Too bad.
However, stepping up by 14 pounds to face a top-tier super middleweight is no small feat, especially when that opponent is a pound-for-pound legend like Canelo, who has ruled the super middleweight division since 2020. A possible battle between Canelo and Crawford would be considered a super fight because of the obstacles they both pose to one another and the achievements that have brought them this far. In his unexpected prediction of the winner of the Canelo Alvarez vs. Terence Crawford mega fight, Israel Madrimov offered his thoughts. Madrimov, who squared off against Terence Crawford last year, offered his take on the much-anticipated clash between his former rival and Canelo Alvarez. Madrimov, who faced defeat at the hands of Crawford in August during their WBA light middleweight title fight, shared his perspective on the potential showdown. After 12 intense rounds, Crawford triumphed with a unanimous decision, clinching his fourth world title across multiple divisions. His next target, Canelo Alvarez, the reigning unified WBA, WBC, and WBO super middleweight champion. The highly anticipated showdown, which has sparked widespread excitement, is tentatively set for September in Las Vegas, though no official confirmation has been given yet. Turki Alalshik, head of Riyadh season, has been at the forefront of the negotiations. He didn't give his former opponent much hope of conquering the challenge of stepping up two weight divisions to overcome the Mexican sensation. His response was clear: "It's a very different weight class. Canelo will win, I think by decision." Madrimov is confident that size will play a crucial role, but his main focus remains on his upcoming return to the ring next month. After experiencing his first career defeat against Crawford last year, he now faces the undefeated Ortiz, who has an unblemished record of 22 professional victories and is in peak condition as they prepare to face off. The most recent fighter to forecast the big battle between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is WBC lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson. According to reports, Alvarez and Crawford will square off in a September bout that will pit two legendary fighters against one another. For Crawford, this presents an opportunity for the two-weight undisputed champion to defy expectations once again, moving up two weight divisions from super welterweight to super middleweight to take on the Mexican fighter. Although some consider this significant weight increase to be a disadvantage, Stevenson thinks Crawford can still outbox Alvarez. In a fight, Terence outboxes the expletive out of Canelo, Stevenson told IFL TV. The highly anticipated clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez has captured the attention of boxing fans for quite a while. In a recent interview with Ring magazine, Crawford's trainer revealed that the fight will proceed without a rehydration clause, meaning Alvarez won't face any restrictions on his rehydration ahead of the bout. Brian Bomack McIntyre, trainer to Bud, criticized the rehydration clause, condemning it as unfair. He emphasized that Alvarez competes in higher weight classes than Crawford and would be severely drained if forced to adhere to a specific weight limit on the night of the fight. He said, "That's some weak expletive. Oh, you can't come in this much, man. Get the expletive out of here. It's boxing. You got on the scale. I made the weight. Regardless of what I come back as, you accepted the fight. Let's get in there and fight like men. Simple as that." Crawford and Alvarez stand as two of the finest in the sport, each a multi-division world champion. What sets them apart, however, is Crawford's flawless record of 41-0, while Alvarez holds the 2nd of February, 62 mark with defeats only at the hands of the legendary Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the formidable Dmitry Bivol. A top-tier pound-for-pound talent for Crawford, facing off against Alvarez has long been a coveted objective, having called out the pound-for-pound icon for quite a while. With the support of Saudi Sports Minister Turki Al-Sheikh, sadly, the Mexican champion has shown little interest in the fight, instead requesting an outrageous payday. Therefore, there is no official movement despite the Crawford camp's intense desire. A pivotal moment in Terence Crawford's career came 2 years ago when he faced off against Errol Spence Jr. leading up to the fight. Expectations ran high with many believing it would be Crawford's toughest challenge yet. However, Bud proved his critics wrong, delivering a masterful performance that left Spence overwhelmed, securing a dominant 9th-round TKO. Following the bout, Crawford faced criticism from many in the boxing community for allegedly weight-draining Spence. However, with a potential high-stakes showdown against Canelo Alvarez on the horizon, his trainer insists that the same tactics won't be employed against the Mexican icon. Canelo Alvarez's talent was fostered by Oscar de la Hoya for a large portion of his promotional career, but de la Hoya now feels that a boxer might easily defeat him. Once a successful alliance, de la Hoya and Canelo's friendship has degenerated since they broke up a few years ago. Both men occupy prominent positions in the sport and have continued to succeed in their respective sectors despite their separation. Canelo is currently the finest super middleweight boxer, but a matchup with Terence Crawford this year might put that title to the test. The former two-weight undisputed champion has long declared his desire to take on the legendary Mexican fighter, and that matchup may occur in 2025. David Benavidez is another boxer who is keen to challenge Canelo, and de la Hoya supports the Arizonan. This weekend, Benavidez faces a major challenge when he squares off against David Morrell. However, should he ever step into the ring with Canelo, de la Hoya believes there's only one clear victor. De la Hoya said when speaking to Fight Hub TV, "I think Benavidez will win and will win easily. Canelo has done great for the sport. He's still doing amazing, but is naturally slowing down due to age." Alvarez stands as the dominant, long-established unified super middleweight champion with a past as the undisputed ruler of the division. Undefeated at 168 pounds, he has solidified his legacy, setting the stage for.
What's good? I'm back again, the biggest hater in the sport of boxing. Yo, real quick, just got done. I woke up 3 a.m. I don't know, someone told me to study Canelo, study Crawford. Crawford about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting y'all know right now, he about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez. Yes, he is. Number 2, Devin Haney. You want to get back, man, go back to your roots, bro. Go back to where you started, bro. Where'd you start? You started in Mexico, man. Go back, get one of those guys out of there, man. Go back, start there. That's where you start. Go back to your roots, bro. Get some of that humble pie, bro. Go back, start where you started. Start where you started at. And bro, I'm telling you, you go back where you started, you're gonna come back up on top. Peace.
Crawford will be eager for Bradley's analysis to prove correct as he aims to topple Canelo and join the ranks of the only 3 fighters to ever defeat the Mexican icon. In May 2022, Alvarez suffered a loss to Dmitry Bivol in the light heavyweight division, marking nearly 10 years since his first professional setback against the legendary Floyd Mayweather at 154 pounds in 2013. Meanwhile, top-ranked boss Bob Arum isn't ruling out the possibility of this showdown. Arum weighed in during a recent Fight Hype interview, sharing his perspective on the eagerly anticipated match. The 93-year-old seasoned promoter, having collaborated with Crawford on numerous bouts over the years, knows the fighter's skills inside and out. So, without hesitation, he shared the key to Crawford's victory in the match. He said, "Because Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer puncher and he is totally ambidextrous. So he drives his opponent crazy because the opponent trains to fight a right-hand fighter and ends up fighting a southpaw. And that's what happened to Errol Spence." Arum highlighted that Errol Spence Jr. was completely outclassed in his 2023 showdown with Crawford. What was initially anticipated as a closely contested fight quickly became a one-sided affair, with Crawford demonstrating his clear dominance. Arum added,